Hey guys, what's up? Jay Berube coming to you here from Austin, Texas at the PM Grow Summit, and that's a property management summit. So you're probably asking yourself, Jay, why are you at a property management conference? Well, interesting story. Takes me back to about 15 years ago when I started real estate and everything was a feeding frenzy in Florida. It was so good that everybody got into the business. There was a lot of real estate agents and there was a lot of speculators, right? Because it was low barriers of entry for them. All a buyer needed at that time was 5% down on a new construction property. And then what they would do is they would easily assign the contract at closing and then make a substantial sum of money just from doing that. As you can imagine, this dried up, okay? And it was even, here's the interesting thing, it was even so crazy to where I myself did this as well, slept out, like we camped out in front of new construction communities in order to be placed into a lottery to have the luxury of buying their product. Like, this is how good it was for the builders. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? And it reminded me of that yesterday. We were at a place called Franklin's Barbecue in Austin, Texas. And if you've ever been to Austin, Texas, or if you live here, you probably have heard about Franklin's Barbecue. And people wait in line starting at like 7 a.m. And the place doesn't open until 11 a.m. And they usually run out of food by noon, which is unreal. I was in line. I was in line for an hour at from 10:30 to 11:30, and then the guy came by and he said, "Yeah, it's about 2.5 more hours." I said, "Okay, peace. I'm out." Couldn't deal with it. But with the real estate and the property management, how that came about is because when everything was going crazy, like it was bound to burst, right? I mean, this is right before the Great Recession. This is part of what caused the Great Recession in real estate. And it all started in Florida, and then it trickled everywhere else, which is similar to what we're seeing now because the market in Florida has been softening for the past 12 months and starting to get even worse and even more towards a buyer's market. And how do we know that? Well, we know that because of increased inventory, because of price reductions, because of days on market, and all of this is happening. And it was happening in a big way back in 2006 and 7, around that time frame. So I got the idea, the crazy idea, when my speculators, when my buyers couldn't make money on their property. They couldn't assign those contracts anymore, or they couldn't flip it to somebody else who wanted to buy it. I asked the question to the first person. I said, well, have you considered renting it out to ride out the storm, right? Which didn't really ride out for anybody, which kind of sucks for people that bought then and held it. But they rented it out. So slowly, I just started getting more rentals, and then I eventually started a property management company. And like most property managers, it was on accident, right? Like and most real estate agents, it's a second career, real estate is. So, so with that, I started getting a lot of real estate agent referrals as well. And I started marketing for that. And I grew at that time up to about 350 units. And it was scary because I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue. I was kind of just winging it because I was young. I was still passionate about sales. And that's always been my true passion. And then so I'm building this property management company as I go. Well, anyway, I was just downstairs, and what I wanted to really share with you is Absentee Owners and the gem, the money that is just there waiting for real estate agents, that if you're not calling absentee owners, you're missing a huge piece, okay? So why absentee owners? All right, number one, they're not going to be upset with you like other sources of calling. So if you're calling circle prospecting, they're thinking, why is this person calling me? Okay, if you're calling for sale by owners, they're thinking, I wish this person would stop calling me. If you're calling expireds, they're thinking, well, you know, go to hell. Like, they don't want you calling them at all. But the absentee owner is a lot easier. It's a lower barrier of entry, and it's easier to give value, right? So the value that you give when you're calling an absentee owner is you're giving them an update on the market, because usually they don't know what's going on in the market. So how do you give them an update on the market? Well, you do it in a couple of different ways. In the script, on the call, you start off with, hey, this is Jay. I'm a local realtor in, Bonita Springs, like whichever area the property is. And I was just calling because like there's a lot of changes in the real estate market, and I'm just wondering, do you still own that property on Main Street, or have you sold it, or do you rent it out? So what you're doing is you're just opening the question, okay, and asking them that question. Then when they answer, then you move into, well, I'm wondering, with everything that's going on in the market, if you are looking at selling it or renting it out, and if you want an update on what's going on and maybe what the property value is worth. Okay, so that opens the conversation, and that's huge value. And here's the deal: no one else is calling them. Like, this is the gem about it. No one else is calling them. It's such a great lead source. And with that, you can use a triple dialer to leverage your time. Not like for rent by owners or for sale by owners. It's much better if you actually do like old school methods with like printing out paper and everything like that. But for absentee owners, you can use your triple dialer again, and it's easy to get their information as well. So yeah, that's a huge lead source for you. And here's a couple of tips. All right, having to do with property management. If you don't want to manage properties, don't worry. You don't have to, and you probably shouldn't be doing it, okay? But here's the deal. I want you to hook up with a good property manager in your area. Someone who will pay you referral fees up to, usually the average is around $250 referral fees, and someone who will also have a referral form where they sign that they will refer that client back to you when they buy or sell. And this way, what you're doing is, even the customers that, because like we all want to sell, right? I mean, like the goal is to have more closings, to have more sales, but that's not always the case. And we have to do what's best for our customers, right? And what's best for our customers is helping them with their real estate decision, whatever that is. Okay, and I can't stress that enough. Like if you want to help your customer, if I want to help my customer, we have to get them what they need and help them understand why they need that based on what they're telling us. So there's so many different questions that you ask them, but we're not going to get into that right now. But what I do want you to know is hit up Absentee Owners. If you want to know how to do that, then you can drop me a comment below, and what I'll do is I will get you the information on how you can start doing that. So, boom, go get some more homes sold. See ya.